Hey guys, and thank you so much for checking out the first episode of LA Bias. I'm Russell.
And I'm Sasha.
And we are here, we're going to cover all of the major sports here in amazing Los Angeles, California. From none other than amazing Los Angeles traffic, and it's pretty hectic out here. But hi, like I said, my name is Russell, and I am a student at the University of Southern California. I'll be keeping you guys all updated on what's going on with the team and all the games.
And I'm Sasha, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date on UCLA information and games, news, things like that. We're both pretty avid Charger fans. We'll be keeping up to date on the Charger games and news and stuff like that. So, without further ado,
welcome to LA Bias. Start.
No, I know.
I don't remember. I don't know where I live.
You got two black eyes from loving too hard, and a black car that matches your blackest soul. I wouldn't change it. Oh, wouldn't ever try to make you leave. No. Oh, the neon coaster was your sign, and the Midwest wind, your Pisces rising, wouldn't change it. Oh, wouldn't ever try to make you leave. No. Static palms melt your vibe. Midnight whisperings. The black magic of Mulholland Drive. Spilling balls on a desert skies. Drinking white wine in the busted light. Just another LA devotee.
Yeah, we're just gonna get started for you talking about last night's UCLA versus BYU game and USC versus Stanford game. So, yeah, UCLA, they were able to come out with a win against BYU at BYU last night.
At BYU in Provo, it was actually a pretty tough crowd to play against because I don't like.
No, it's fine. Let's not get a ticket. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Multitasking, it's always a problem. Be safe, stay in school, don't do drugs. But yeah, what were you saying? Something about
it's always a bit tough to play in Provo or Utah in general, just because the fans over there are just so. It's just a different atmosphere, especially night games. Remember 2 years ago in Salt Lake, it was kind of the same deal against Utah. But they pulled out the win, started off pretty strong, 10-0 lead, going into half.
that defense, though.
For once, the rush defense actually pulled out. Jalen Brown was had a really good game. Eddie Vanderdoes actually really had a good game against rushing the passer too.
Yeah, Jalen Brown, the reincarnation of Miles Jack.
He came in last year really strong during his when he got injured, and he kind of just really took over that role, kind of sideline to sideline, And last night actually he was pretty much spying Taysom Hill the whole night.
Yeah.
Shedded a couple blocks to get to him for a sack. Just really had some nice pass defenses too, and it was just all around great game for him, and kind of for the rest of the linebackers too. Kenny Young got in there. Eddie Vanderdoes. Tack got injured. Tack McKinley, probably our second best D lineman behind Eddie V. He'll probably go next week against Stanford, but it's still kind of an unknown. It won't be a full 100%, but
yeah, they're gonna need him against Stanford, believe me.
Yeah.
Last night USC versus Stanford, that was a little rough, but I have to say I did see USC showed a pulse, which was nice for a change, considering a couple weeks ago that terrible loss to Bama, which will ring in the ears of SC fans for probably another 50 years. But so 2 weeks ago we came off a nice win off of Utah State, 45-7 win, but then coming out this week we knew it was going to be a rough game at the Farm. Christian McCaffrey, of course, one of the biggest names in college football right now. And all things considered, we started off quite well. We forced them to punt on their first drive. I wouldn't say we held Christian McCaffrey in check, but we stopped him from making big plays at the beginning of the game. We looked okay. We finally had a rushing attack, which was so great to see. Our running backs really actually pulled away for the first drive in total. I don't even know if Max Brown threw the ball our first
The
drive.
first couple drives were just pretty much all runs for Stanford and USC, to be honest.
Very true. I mean, both teams have brand new quarterbacks. Obviously, USC has Max Brown as the starting quarterback and Sam Darnold kind of as the backup, but also as the red zone quarterback. And then Stanford, their new starting quarterback after losing Kevin Hogan, Ryan Burns. So yeah, it was like definitely going to be more of a rush-heavy game. But yeah, our defense actually looked pretty good. Like I said, we held. There was almost nothing down the middle, which was great to see. On the outside, it was getting a little bit rough. We tried. I think we were spying. We were using Marvell Tell the third to spy on Christian McCaffrey. That ended up not going so well. Ryan Burns' 56-yard touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. I mean, on the tape you'll see just Marvell Tell just totally loses him. It's like he forgot that the wild calf can run routes and catch the ball in space. That was pretty bad. But on the bright side, the rest of our defense looked good. Adoree Jackson finally came down with a very nice pick. He was on Michael Rector all night long and pretty much just shut down Michael Rector, except for one kind of a trick play end around where Michael Rector was able to score, but that was not on Adoree at all. I mean, of course, Adoree Jackson looking great. They were able to kind of shut down Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith, he's had a hard beginning of the year. He hasn't been targeted all too much. I think that's just because opposing teams, they know to just not only just double him, but put the best of the best you've got on him. It's been frustrating for him. And also Max Brown, he's really been spreading the ball around a lot. Saw that last game, but he's definitely got to work on targeting Juju Smith. I mean, we have this talent. I think we definitely need to use him a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
Maybe use our first rounder. You know, he's definitely going to be a first round pick, but we need to give him that exposure. I mean, just
he might
in
not
general.
have a first round pick if you guys just don't use him every game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
being
after 3 games, I don't think he even has 100 yards. I know he scored 2 touchdowns against Utah State, but they were little. I mean, I think one was like an 8-yard and the other one was like not even, maybe even shorter than that. But honestly, I think our biggest problem right now for us is perhaps coaching. I don't want to call out the coaches all too much, but I mean, we had the Sark problem last year, but then we hire someone within Sark's staff, and I don't know why we expected it to go so well. I just think that's a huge problem. We're obviously working on the O-line, which did show a couple glimpses. I mean, but the problem was we had 7 false starts last night, and that is terrible. It's not like the Farm is an extremely loud and just crazy place to play. I mean, geez, sometimes they could barely give those tickets away. So 7 false starts. I think 6 were in the first half.
Yeah, there were 6 definitely in the first half.
I mean, we had amazing drives going. We were just going on and on and on, and all of a sudden, just false start. And when you get in a 3rd and 15, that's hard on any quarterback, no matter if it's Max Brown or Sam Darnold. That's just rough on anybody. So, but next week we play Utah in Utah. Utah all of a sudden ranked too after a win over BYU. I think also in Salt Lake, and then beating San Jose State. So congrats to Utah, I guess. But it should be a good game. I do think SC will come out on top. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great way to show that, okay, we're not playing Alabama, thank God. We're not playing Christian McCaffrey and Stanford, and we're playing someone above the skill level of Utah State. So hopefully we can get in there and really show them up. And who's UCLA playing next week again?
UCLA's playing Stanford.
That's right,
so,
that's right.
At the Rose Bowl. I'm never going to pencil in another win for UCLA when they're playing Stanford, but it's
the Kevin Hogan era.
This is as close as it gets for us, like to possibly get a win. This might be the year. Playing pretty early in the season, quarterback might be a little fresh since I think these are his first 3 starts so far.
Watch out for the tire. Oh my God,
yeah.
That LA traffic. Sorry, go ahead.
And then what was I gonna say? McCaffrey is, I don't want to say he's stoppable, but
because even when a good day against McCaffrey is when he only rushes for 150 or gets 150 total yards.
Yeah, I think
that's a good day.
12 of his last 13 games he's had over 100 yards rushing, so he's,
and I think he's at 9 games at 200 yards all purpose.
Total, yeah. So that's, you can't stop him, but as long as you put like 7 in the box and force their quarterback to beat you, and he's not Kevin Hogan. Kevin Hogan was actually a somewhat decent quarterback. I don't think Ryan Burns can beat you over the top.
Not
as
yet.
As long as we just put 7 in the box, just pray that Tack and Eddie V can kind of just stifle him at least a little bit, and then force them to beat you with the pass. That's pretty much Stanford's kryptonite right now, as far as I can see.
Yeah, and I think we saw a little bit of that in the SC game too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like I said, Adoree Jackson's pick, Ryan Burns just underthrew that, and Adoree just had a perfect high point pick. I mean, it was textbook, but I think that showed we don't know if Ryan Burns really has that arm strength quite yet. I think he's a redshirt junior, right?
Either junior or redshirt sophomore. I really don't know.
I think Keller Crest is a redshirt sophomore right now. So
That's
so redshirt junior. So so hopefully Stanford is beatable, but too late for SC. But yeah, so later today, the San Diego Chargers will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. In fact, I believe they just kicked off. And I'm going to be honest with you, even though San Diego just lost Keenan Allen, which is a terrible injury, just a shame, just to see type A class guy just go down like that.
Yeah, behind Rivers, he's our number one guy on offense.
He's just got so much skill in general, and just to see him go down like that, it's painful for not only for him but for the fans. But I still think we have a lot of unknown talent on the Chargers at wide receiver.
Tyrell Williams, Travis Benjamin,
definitely.
Dontrell Inman isn't too great, but
he has flashes.
Yeah,
he definitely
he's
flashes.
flashed before. He's a tough guy.
And anybody with Phillip Rivers,
Phil makes a lot of receivers just look really good.
Yeah, and this is kind of the revenge year for Melvin Gordon.
He just looks like a changed man. I don't know how many yards he had the first week, but last week he
just those 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, those 2 touchdowns were just killer for his confidence.
Just the fact he literally has infinite more touchdowns this season already than he does last year. If you don't know, he had 0 touchdowns his rookie season as the starting running back for the San Diego Chargers.
It looks so much easier for him. The game looks like it really slowed down, and he's actually hitting his holes really hard. He just looks great. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm really excited to see how he goes the rest of the season.
Definitely. So I think down here in SoCal, we have a couple of football teams that have a lot of talent, and we're hopeful. I think it's definitely what we have to go for. For SC, obviously we probably have some of the best talent in the nation, but right now, just coaching-wise, I don't think it's all together. And then for UCLA, I think you obviously have so much talent in Rosen, but I think coaching is probably...
Coaching? There's a couple weak spots on the coaching tree, but
Mora,
Mora's really good. He's a really good players coach. He can get everybody fired up to the game, and they really want to do anything for the guy, and that's really what's important with him.
Yeah, and then also in San Diego State, I believe they're ranked 22nd this week.
I don't know the last time they were ranked, but
I believe it was 1991. I do believe it was the stat, and I believe they had some little known guy, Marshall something. Marshall Falk, something like that.
Yeah.
Some weird name like that. He was all right. He was pretty fast. But
played for the Colts.
Some Colts or someone like that. Maybe the Rams.
I don't know.
Maybe some of the Rams. But
Colts legend.
Yeah. Speaking of the Rams, they play their first game back home today in the LA Coliseum against the Seattle Seahawks with Pete Carroll coming back home. So a couple mixed reviews, some boos, some cheers, but it's crazy to see LA football back in swing. They didn't look too good their first week. I don't know if we're going to talk about that all too much. I think
that's pretty self-explanatory. Scored 0 points.
0 points. We've got our first overall pick. He was on the bench. He wasn't even dressed up for the first game. I think he's second string for this game. But I think they're going to need to do some looking at the team, coaching staff, team in general. They've got some work to do. But I definitely think the tone down here in SoCal is hopeful when it comes to football. I think we've got a good couple of years coming up. I definitely do. But thank you guys for tuning in for the first test episode of SoCal Buys, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, no, you pay attention to the road. Don't worry about that. You're driving a car. Let's not die and get it on film, because that would
be on film.
That'd be a great first episode.